Okay, so I've been, my work on the Meg, which I was doing. Oh God, what was it? 2 years ago? I don't know. Um, I kind of came to a bit of um, a roadblock on my research at the time, and I was working in the kilohertz range on the free energy idea, um, and and then I started seeing some videos popping up on YouTube in the history. It just, yeah, um, basically some of the people have been working on this Meg idea as well, but they've been using a different configuration slightly. And I sorry about my hat and scarf, but it's been absolutely freezing the last few days. My heating keeps coming on. I'm worried about my energy bills. Anyway, there was this guy called Timtron, Timtron. He's in the United States, I think. And he's been doing some replicas of the Meg, not based on my stuff, but on the original Tom Bearden designs, and he's had some pretty interesting results because he's actually using a lower frequency. He's using the 50 hertz, 60 hertz, and it's kind of given me a little bit of fresh inspiration in a way, because I'm not saying I'm going to jump straight back into it, but I am going to watch and see what results he has. There's a few little niggling things that he does which kind of irritate me, but I think we all have a different way of doing things. But you know what I mean, we all do things slightly different. I mean, he's one of these people that likes to make sparks, and that really irritates me, because if you're going to do these experiments, you need to take wattage measurements. Wattage is the key, actually, because what people don't understand is that there's a direct relationship between voltage and current, in that, let's say you're working with 100 watts, right? 100 watts, 200 volts is much lower current consumption than what it would be if you had 100 watts into a lamp at, say, 12 volts. You would have a much higher current. So you see, what people don't understand is that wattage is a constant. It's a constant measurement, as in what's in equals what's out, basically. So if you're actually working on over unity, you can't I'm not laughing, I'm just coughing. You can't measure your input current at, say, 12 volts and then compare that with your output current at 200 volts. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. So even if your input current, say your input current was at 200 volts and you only had 10 milliamps going in at 200 volts, and your output was 12 volts and you had 10 amps, that doesn't mean you've got over unity. No, it doesn't, because the current output, the current, whether it's input or output, at a lower voltage will always be higher current at a lower voltage than it is at a higher voltage. Because the only way to actually measure electricity properly and consumption properly is to measure watts. And watts is, as I say, it's a universal. So if you put watts in, say if you put 50 watts in, and if you get 50 watts out, if you get 60 watts out, then you've got over unity. It's simple as that. But if you're actually putting in 10 amps at, say, 200 volts, and you're getting 10 amps at 12 volts, that is not equal. It's by no means equal, because the wattage constant it wouldn't exist. You would actually have excuse me, it's cold in here. I'm waffling a bit, but anyway, go to any website that does the online calculator for voltage, current and watts calculator. Go to any website and do a calculation based on input current, input voltage, and then calculate it and see what the watts are, and then change the voltage. Change the voltage. So if you were using 12 volts and you were putting in 10 amps, change the voltage to 200 volts and then do the same calculation again. You'll see the watts, you'll see the figures just change, right? I think I said all right. It is confusing. It's late at night. It's actually 3 o'clock in the morning, more or less. And the other thing, I've got a premiere coming out tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Well, Thursday. It's like the 11th of January 2024. About my concerns to do with the this no-fly zone restriction. I sent an email to Sean at Geekspanner, because it looks like they put a blanket ban across the whole, most of the East Coast, actually, going right up to like nearly Scotland, I think, all the way down to past Grimsby. That is just ridiculous. Now, I don't know why. I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's temporary or if it's got something to do with these silly emergency helicopter services, but whatever it is, I mean, those things are not supposed to fly below 400 feet anywhere unless they're coming down to rescue somebody. But yeah, they fly over us too much. They're too low a lot of the time. They're flying over us. But you see, if it's restricting people's hobbies, that is just unacceptable, because that's like, they only go up once, maybe twice a month, and the rest of the time no one else can fly their drones or their model aircraft because of it. But anyway, I'm not sure if it's definite or if there's some kind of a glitch. I don't know. But when I go on the app, where is it? When I go on the oh damn it, where is it? Oh, there it is. Can't see it for looking. So it said there's 8 DJI no-fly zones nearby, but it doesn't show you where. But it's like a blanket ban on flying in this area. So if I zoom right out, I don't know if you can see this, but if I zoom right out as much as possible, now there's Scarborough right here, right? All this shaded area is a no-fly zone. Look at that. It goes right out to sea, look. It goes right out to sea, look. It goes right across to flipping France, nearly. Right? It's like, and if you look down here, it goes right down to Withensea. That's near Hull. That's in Hull, basically. Yeah, it's Hull, more or less. Beverly Hull. So there's this massive area of no fly. Now, if that's the case, that is seriously wrong, because the helicopters basically only fly out to sea and down the coast when they're doing rescues. So why should they put a blanket ban over most of the inland as well, and all the way up the coast? I mean, there's something seriously wrong with this. I think this is a glitch. What the hell is that? See, it says DJI no fly zone. Anyway, I've covered this in the video tomorrow. I don't want to talk too much about it right now, because it distracts from the other video, which is about it. But anyway, we need to figure out what's going on with that. So this is just a general update on what's going on. So, as I say, I'm inspired by this guy, this chap who's Tim Tron, I think it is. I'm not saying he succeeded, but there's a few other YouTubers online who produced what they claim is over Unity. Now, if they're genuine, then obviously it's something I want to follow up on. But it might turn out that they are fakes. So what he's doing at the moment, what Tim Tron is doing at the moment, is he's been working on this for quite a while as well, but I don't think he's been at it for as long as me. He did it a few years ago apparently, and he went back to it, a bit like me really, because you just sort of drift out of it for a while, and then you get some new idea that you want to put to it, and it'd be easy for me to make some modifications to my design. I designed mine so that it's easy to modify anyway. I've got a whole bunch of ferrite bars. I could easily mock this up in a jiffy really, but I just don't want to start cutting ferrite and winding coils and for the sake of it, because it might turn out to be a red herring, as they call it. A red herring is basically something that's doesn't exist, right? So we're gonna have to see what he comes up with, and I'm closely following him. I'll try and stick an end screen link to his channel on the end of this video, so go and have a look, because as I say, we all have our little quirks, we all have our different styles. His style's not the same as mine, but he's got some interesting tests he's doing. He hasn't, I don't think he's done some current measurements, but he hasn't really done a great deal. I would like to see more measurements really, because the thing that bothers me really is when YouTubers demonstrate stuff, they don't really demonstrate it. They only half-baked demonstrate it, if you know what I mean. They show you something and it's either working or it's not working, and they give you a load of scope shots, which doesn't really mean nothing if you don't actually take some actual wattage, because wattage is the key, right? It's always the key, right? Because what's in and what's out is what you want, right? Because that's the bottom line with all electronics devices. I'm waffling a bit now, so there was something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was now. As far as the RF stuff, you know, I was winding that big thing that's on top of there, wrapped up in plastic, that's right up there. Yeah, it's still shelved, it's covered so it doesn't get dusty. Yeah, I don't like working with RF. I just don't like working with it. I worked with it in the past because it's high frequency, and RF, it can actually impact your health. And with my health problem right now, the way I am at the moment, I'm not going to try and add to my condition by messing around with that stuff right now, because I worked with RF back in the, let me think, back in the 80s. I had a few RF burns on my finger as well from the coils, and I touched the coil once and it was like a microwave blast. Oh, nearly fried my bloody finger. That was only 4 watts as well, I think. Oh yeah, I think I remember now. I think I do. It was about the dogs. Yeah, when we were, we used to have a dog years ago. Me and my family. It was me, my brother, my sister, my dad. We had a dog. We called him Rambler. He was a stray, and we love dogs, right? We all love dogs, right? Now, But sometimes things can go wrong with dogs, just like they can go wrong with people. And it came back to me, funny enough, it came back to me last night about what happened with our dog. Um, he was always wandering off, and that's how we found him in the first place. We kind of adopted him because he just turned up one day, and my sister took an immediate liking to him, and she liked to pet him, and we all petted him, and we all stroked him. We'd take him for walks, and he was a nice little dog. He was a bit of a cross collie. He was very shaggy, curly, fluffy, floppy ears. We liked him. We loved him a lot, right? Now, then something happened. We're not sure exactly, but apparently it was called mange or mange. Is it mange or something like that? But basically, he became dangerous. Just overnight. We don't know what happened. We just don't. He was sleeping in his basket. The TV was over on the right hand side, and every now and then when I'd go past and I'd stroke him, right? We would stroke him and say, "How are you doing, Rambler, today? Good dog, nice dog." Give him some biscuit or something, and then one day I went down to stroke him, and he went. He was vicious, and I thought, oh, maybe he's just having a bad day, And I said to my dad at the time, I said, something with Rambler. He's growling at me. I said, why is he doing that? And my dad says, oh, don't worry about it, He says, he'll be all right, You shrug it off, right? Anyway, it was was it the next morning? I'm not sure. I can't remember now because we're talking about the 1980s. I think it was 1981 or 1982. And my dad told me Rambler bit Edwin, which is my brother. He bit Edwin, and there's something wrong with him, the dog. Something wrong with Rambler. I said, what, he bit him? And he says, yeah, he was snarling and he bit him. So my dad took Rambler to the vets and to see if they could, if he had a toothache or he'd got something in his paw. We thought he might have got something in his paw and it might cause him pain. He might have been affecting his temperament. And the vet said that there was nothing they could do, that it was something that happens to dogs sometimes. They can just turn nasty for no apparent reason. They called minge or something. I can't remember what it was called, but it was some kind of psychological problem that dogs have now and then. And at the time, because we were all kids, right, and we were all young, well, I think I was about 18, 17, 19. No, let me think. I might have been 20. I think my sister was 4 years younger than me. So she might have been... Anyway, long story short, we had to put him down. The vets just said that there was nothing they could do and that it would be better to put him down because eventually he was gonna bite a child or something, and then we would be in deep shit because as the owners of the dog, we were responsible. Now, I don't know if dog laws have changed, but I think it was before they brought in the dog license, because they brought in the dog license later on, and then that was revoked again. And but anyway, he was old, by the way. He wasn't a young dog. We'd had him about, 10, 12 years or something. Or maybe 5, 6 years. I can't remember, but when we got him, he wasn't young. He was already quite old when we got him. So he might have had a problem previously before we got him. And it might be the reason why he was abandoned. we don't know exactly because, as I say, he was a stray. Um, but we never got another dog after that, though. We, the vets had to put him to sleep, and it was heartbreaking for all of us. You know, we really loved him, and but there was nothing we could do. I mean, he'd already bitten one of us, and he was. I mean, there was bite marks. I remember my brother showing me he had bite marks right around his hand, where he was around his hand, and he hadn't done it. We never teased him ever. Um, we used to just give him cuddles and pick him up and take him for walks, and it was just weird. We don't know what happened. It was like it was a completely different dog. It was just he just changed. Um, we really wanted to help him, but the vets couldn't do anything. So all they could do was put him to sleep, and that was really sad. That was really sad, and we never had another dog. We never got another one. So I ended up with a cat, and it wasn't by any choice of my own. It was basically a friend who was staying with me. She had a cat, and she brought the cat with her, and kind of when she left the cat with me. So we did look after Shona because it was Shona the cat, and that cat had kittens, and this Shona cat, we used to make messes everywhere. So I ended up finding a new home for it on a farm, and I kept one of the kittens, and we found new homes for the other kittens, and so I've never actually gone out of my way to find a pet, really. But pets come to you sometimes, and you just have to look after them, don't you? And that's kind of what happened. So I just wanted to mention about that because, we all go through life at some point, and we usually end up adopting a cat or a dog or something. Some people have budgies, some people have mice, some people have hamsters. My daughter's actually had pet hamsters. And my youngest daughter, she's just been traumatized because she had a cat for about 11 years, and it died for some mysterious reason. Something was wrong with it, and she was taking it to the vets, and it died. It was DOA. So by the time she got to the vet and they checked its heart, the vet said that its heart's not beating. That was upsetting. I'm sure I wasn't with her at the time, but I've no doubt that was upsetting for her because she's had that cat for 11 years since it was little. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a little talk about cats and things today, other things, just so you have an idea who we are really. But I actually got allergic. I actually became allergic to cats. So that's another reason why I didn't get another one, because I started to get itchy all over, and what with my easily infection with my eyes and that, you can understand, look, I'm very susceptible to things like that. So it wasn't, I don't know what triggered it, but that sofa I got, it was full of dust. My theory on it is that the dust was damp, and when we got it, because this place is very dry, it's very, very, very dry, and over a period of a few months it dried out, and during that, and at that point the dust started to migrate out of the sofa, and that's when I got the infection in my eye, my blepharitis. So I just have to avoid things that cause me hyperallergenic issues. Hyperallergenic, I think it's the right word, I'm not sure, but that's what they stick on all these creams and everything. But yeah, anyway, that's it. I've waffled too long, 25 minutes nearly. Thanks for watching, bye for now. Well, I don't know if anyone's interested, but when I used to make the Adventures of Oleg years ago, I have a bunch of uh, archived clips I was going to use in episode 4, which I never made. But so every so often, I decided what I would do is because I had issues with the making episode 4 because of the flight gear simulator not working properly anymore or something. I don't know. It's that long ago. I've forgotten what my problem was, but what I thought I could do is do a storyboard, so I type insert into occasional videos and put a little bit of a little bit of the story that I was going to do into it, a bit like a cartoon, but not really a cartoon, if you know what I mean. So I've got a bunch of these clips. So let me just find. There's a hell of a lot of stuff in here actually, because if you look in here, all these folders, right? Raw video. Let's see, all these icons, every single one of them has got a bunch of videos in. I was going to use in episode 4, and there's Oleg's Dream. The one I did. I actually did a video with Oleg when he was flying, and I thought he might be interested in seeing that. So he's basically he was having a dream. And he was flying, but you see what's happened. Some of the clips have got corrupted. If I play that again, go full screen, you'll see what I mean. It's some of the data's got corrupt, so I can't use all of it. But I could go back maybe. The simulator still works. I mean, I could refilm some of this, but I don't see the point really, because there's other problems. I mean, there's a lot of footage of Oleg which I never actually used. That was used in one of the recent music videos I did of him. So there's, let's see, there he is flying. Obviously there's no sound because in some of these clips there was no sound. I had to add the sound on some of it, but on some of the clips he did have an engine sound added to the model, but that was a bit later on because my friend in France, Emmanuel, he added the engine sound which I created for Oleg to the model, so that when I was flying him it would actually play out. I'm not sure if it's this one. I think it's this one. There you go. I actually put music to that though, so I don't think you could hear it in the actual video because I put music on there. Let's see. Oh god. Right. So this is Jello. This is cousin Jello. He was the guy that was gonna destroy the world. Jello is the car, by the way. Oleg is the aeroplane. So anyone that watches Oleg and sees the car will say, "Oh, there's an Oleg." No, it's actually Jello. That's his cousin. He's got a moustache. I don't know if you can see it in here. Hang on a minute. Let me just see what I can get. Oh, flipping videos frozen on me. Hang on, let me just play it again. Yeah, if you look closely, he's got a moustache, look. Come on, zoom in. That's Jello. And he's French. He has to be French. Because of my friend who helped me. So that's the reason for the funny moustache. Let's see. I'm giving you a bit of hidden history about Oleg now. Fictional character, I know, but so here's the Daedalus. Now the Daedalus, the ship, was actually created by Stuart. Gregor. I can't remember his full name, but Stuart Anderson adapted it and added lots of extra features to it, including all the automated doors. The Daedalus was basically the ship that was using Stargate SG-1. If you watch Stargate, you'll know that the ship, the Daedalus, is from that show. And we can actually fly it for real in the simulator. Let me see if I can pull up a different view. Which one did I get anyway? I can't remember now. Oh, I got the first one, didn't I? So let's get that one. So this is the ship. I created the engine sounds. I created the engine sounds in Cool Edit. So it's quite complicated actually, but the engine sounds took me quite a while to make, but they're not that difficult. Now this this image on the screen that the Starship crew is looking at, she's apparently a real extraterrestrial, apparently from James Gilliland's website. These are basically the cat people, or they're called the felines or something. I forget what they're really called, but the feline extraterrestrials. Always very interesting. If you go into James Gilliland's website, I'm pretty sure you can find more about them. But I just thought it was so cute because everyone loves cats. So I just stuck a photo up there because I thought it's appropriate since it's a spaceship, isn't it? Right. So it just seemed appropriate, right, for the type of story I was doing at the time. Right, now this is Olga. She's a helicopter, and she's also Oleg's cousin. Well, she's they haven't met actually, not really a cousin actually, but they're the same species, if you know what I mean. Not as in family cousin, but cousin as in they're the same genera or whatever. She's stuck in prison basically because she was caught shoplifting. Literally, the helicopter was, she was trying to lift a shop in a hoist on underneath the helicopter because she's got this inferiority complex, and as a helicopter, she believes that she should be able to lift anything, right? Oleg, he's kind of the opposite. He's very innocent and very shy and clumsy, and has accidents, and he's been given some powers which he doesn't know how to control fully yet, because he's like a child, and he's a child. Olga, however, she's a little bit ambitious, but she's looking for some guidance really, and as I was saying about Jello, he's a little bit of a mischief kind of guy, and I think all the qualities would have come together at some point in a later episode, and they would have tamed each other, if you know what I mean. Olga would have kept Oleg in check, and Oleg would have kept Olga in check, and Jello, well, he was kind of caught in between, a little bit of a rogue. But so anyway, yeah, I'm giving you all this stuff which I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be disappointing because as I said, I don't think I'll ever make episode 4. Well, I suppose it's nice to hear a little bit of backstory on it. Oh, what's this one? I can't remember now. Um, oh yeah, that's the ship coming down to land. No, it isn't. No, this is just a zoom in on Olga. Right. So, oh, I'm doing it again. Hang on. So I've got that many clips. I forget what they are now because it's. Well, look at the date on there when I actually recorded this stuff. Uh, 2014. I think that's when it was modified. Hang on. When did I create it? I've forgotten now. I think it was 2011. Date created. Oh yeah, oh it's all the same date, so it must be when I actually copied it onto the disc. So it's so the dates are all wrong. So it wasn't 2014, it was like 2011 or somewhere 2011, 2012. What was it? 2009, 2010. What am I doing? Yeah, look at the date. The date's over here, look, right? The folders. It was January, February, March, April, May 13th, 2010. All these dates, 2010. So, and there's also Voyager he did, Oleg did, when he was on the Nimitz. So, that's when he was being carried off to Germany. That's when he would have met up with Olga and also Jello. But he never made that trip. Well, he does make the trip, but it's just not been. The movie's just not been made, but he did make the trip. So, in a way, in my mind, he did. But anyway, so. Right, so I've got to edit this audio clip. So I've got to make this audio clip. Oh, damn it, I've forgotten now. I just worked it out as well. What was it? 14 seconds long. And I've got what? See. Oh, I've got some wiggly bits at the end. I need to chop them out. Paste. So you'll see how I do this stuff. I'm zooming in. Oh, I've got a double waveform there, look, so that's wrong. So I've got to chop that out to there. So if I zoom out, play that, it's seamless. There's no, you know what I mean? So let's see, what have I got now? I've got I need to chop that bit out, delete. Let's see, I've got 9 seconds, so paste. Now I've got, let's just check that. Oh, I've got, I made the same boo-boo again on here. Chop that bit, chop this bit out. Let's see, right, play that. Perfect. Right, go back over to there. The waveform, the sound. What have I got? I can always fade it out, you see. Right, paste. Right, let's go into that bit. I've got the same. No, that's all right, I think. Let's just play it. No, it's not. It's wrong. I'm just going to go from there to there. Delete. Play that. Seamless. Right, go back to the end. Right, how many seconds have I got now? 14 seconds, that's long enough. So I've got 14 seconds of this. play it all. It's just the Daedalus engine. But it did have an extra, what do you call it, little ringing sound to it, but that's from the outside, so it's fine. It's inside the ship, it's in the interior. So I'm going to save that. Save as... I could do PCM, I think. Stick it in... images, drawn, assets. No, actually not assets. It wants to be in, it wants to be music samples, or actually no, it wants to be in sounds. Create a new folder. Sounds, stick it in there, and I'm just going to leave the title the same. Save that. Right, so it should be in there. So if I go to my folder, sounds, view list. Okay, so oh god, I've got no freaking oh, that's better. I want data created. It looks a bit better now. So now if I go to go back to my edit program, I have to add that sound, drag it, stick it in my sequences folder, whatever, my project bin. Oh, it's quite loud on there, isn't it? I'll be alright, I'll turn it down in a minute. So I'm going to go down here and see, should fit in nicely, I think, around down here somewhere. Let's find out. Might have to fade it out a bit. Oh, I'm a bit too early actually. The sequence wants to start about there, so that's about right. Let's see. Play that. So it'd been the right hand preview. I need to fade that out, so I'm going to zoom in because I want that to start a little bit later, because I'm going to put my effects fade in, no, it's sound I want, fade in, there, take a bit faster, fade, move that up. Oh, it's a bit too short, it's not long enough. It's alright, it'll work. I'm just going to fade it out. There. Move that to there. Because this is fading out already anyway. So let's go to there and see what it comes out like. So it fades in now. Well, I've got this little text thing on the screen and a little intro from one of my clips. Fades out, and then I'll come on. So yeah, that That'll work, even though the audio clip was probably a couple of seconds too short. It didn't really matter because they were both fading out then. So yeah, that's pretty much how I do my movies and edits and stuff like that. And cool edits, pretty cool, but it was bought out by another company, so I think they renamed it, didn't they? I'd like to show you how I did the Oleg voice, but I haven't got the voice encoder installed on this system, so I can't. It's a lot of work anyway. So I can close that out now. So I've got my sound clip in there, and yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit of that. So 20 minutes of waffle. Hope you enjoy watching. Bye for now.